Hey everyone, it's your boy John, and I'm still freaking sick. I'm gonna try not to cough through this video. I might do a full your boy Zack and just like really have a big coughing meltdown. This is like a rough one. I don't know. People say there's a new China virus going around, and I think it might be it because I was like, I mean, there's been nights where I just wake up and I'm just gasping for air, like, oh, it's rough. But you don't want to hear about my health problems. That's not why you're here. Yes, send super thanks or whatever to feel bad for me and feel sympathy, right? Isn't that how you're supposed? I've got a Ko-Fi link in the description below. You could buy me a new computer. Oh my gosh. Well, the Emerald Array, which is my Space Marine book from last year, is getting into people's hands. I've gotten awesome feedback from it. People love it. And I really appreciate everybody for posting about it. I mean, it's been really awesome this morning. Here's one who got his copy of the book. Here's another who got his copy of the book. And yes, really fun. And of course, if you miss classic sci-fi that wasn't afraid to show heroes with actual values, you need the Emerald Array. Lieutenant Lansing and the Terran Imperium are what Star Wars used to be. It's not available for purchase right now, so I'm not even really advertising it. But I do appreciate everybody reading. What we tried to do is create this like Jack Kirby style 70s sci-fi. And if you are there any pictures of the interior art? No, they're just posting covers. Nobody's, yeah, well, I'm glad because that means nobody's pirating it right now. But with that, we tried to go for this like 70s Jack Kirby style art. That was really awesome. I love Jack Kirby's New Gods. I love, of course, a lot of that 70s era stuff because there's like a soft psychedelicness to it that like isn't quite like 60s psychedelic, but it's like more refined and it's really cool. And I love the way he draws all the machinery and the like. It's great comics, and that's exactly what we're trying to produce here. So thank you guys for reading and getting on this. If you missed it, I have a lot of comics coming out. I've got 9 graphic novels in development, including more in the Terran Imperium, and we will have that available on my web store as soon as everything's like all fulfilled and all that. So get on my newsletter, my friends. My newsletter, 3 free books for doing so. You get a graphic novel, you get a science fiction novel, of course, a fantasy novel as well. I'm writing so much these days, and I'm getting so much done. I'm writing a new one called Battle Emperor right now, which is so good. Oh my gosh. Is there anything I can show from this? Should I show it? I just love this artist. This is like not an action scene or anything. I'm not gonna show it yet. We're not there yet. It's not there. But yes, we're making waves and we're doing everything your boy Zack promised with like, he was going to build a new comic movement and all that. And then just couldn't play ball with other people, didn't deliver, didn't work on things himself, and started attacking everybody who was doing so. So we're it, guys. If you liked what your boy Zack promised in 2018, I know you're burnt out on comics, my friends. I know you're burnt out on this whole deal because a lot of people have burned you in this. But we've been doing it the whole time. So join our community. Get on the newsletter. Join the Discord in the description below. Love to connect and chat with you guys. Thank you for being here. All right. So we made a big difference in your boy Zack. And if you look at this, 2 days ago, you can see this, and he starts posting about AI again, which is good. I like when he's posting about AI. He's healthier when he's talking about AI, and he knows that AI art is getting better and better and better and better, which it is, which is pretty great. I can't wait, of course, to be able to make full comics with this because it'll change the game. It's not consistent enough quite yet. But look, the last community post before that was 5 months ago. And the reason why, I think, is because he went back to already hitting the birthday party clowns and all that, right? So it's not like he's changing his soul or changing his heart or changing his ways on this stuff. And he's livid, and I'll tell you why he's livid right now in a second. But he did delete a lot of his like anti-Eric July comic book posts, and that's a big thing. And I think that's because of our influence here. I know he watches my channel, which is great. Hi Zach. And that's a good thing. You should watch my channel and kind of understand. We just had this whole talk about like what I liked out of comics, 70s comics and the like. I'm actually reading this one, Marvel 1965 Omnibus right now, and I'm about 200 and I'm about 250 pages into this 450 page omnibus. I love these. If you don't know what these are, They publish every comic that Marvel published in 1965, and they have a whole line of them. And I read them first thing every time they come out. Like it's like I drop whatever I'm reading, anything else, and I read these because you get a little of everything. And Marvel back then was not just superhero comics, which is really, really cool. And yes, I'm embedding comic talk into this stuff. I get you clicking with Zach, and then I do that. This is how I'm getting you to actually care about comics. Instead of being passive aggressive and angry at other people, I'm just gonna talk about what I want to talk about. And thank you guys for being here and indulging me in this. But this is really good stuff. And you're at about Fantastic Four issue number 40. Spider-Man, or 41 is in here, actually. Spider-Man is on issue number 27. The Hulk, at this point, has gotten a bullet lodged in his brain, and so that has made him actually be able to be Bruce Banner while he's in Hulk form, which is kind of fun, at least on this side. And this is where they introduced Nick Fury as an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. because Sergeant Fury, the war comics were actually like such great sellers in the 60s. DC Comics had the same. Their war comics were selling like nothing else in the 60s before everything just became superhero and everybody dropped everything else. Terrible thing the comic industry did. It's so many cool different genres. And Nick Fury was such a popular character, they wanted to do something, bring him into modern times because people kept asking, what happened to this character? Is he still alive, right? Because it was from the World War II, right? And so now he becomes this like secret agent in this and is given S.H.I.E.L.D. it's a little unlikely story where it's like Tony Stark shows up and is like, it's yours now, pal. I built all this stuff for you. And it's a lot of fun. Beautiful stuff. And so that's in here too. Now, Marvel's still publishing Western comics. There's a Rawhide Kid one I just read, and romance comics, Patsy and Hetty, and what's the other big one that they did at the time? Why am I blanking on this? It's at the end of the book, and I haven't gotten to it yet. But I actually like reading those quite a bit. And you're seeing Stan Lee's writing evolve, too, because at the beginning of all these Westerns and Patsy and Hetty comics and all that, they didn't really even have continuing storylines in those. They had just like 8-page shorts that like kind of felt like Archie comics, like where they were slice of lifey and a lot of fun. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, Patsy and Hetty 101 is a comic. And this is the comic book right here. And so Career Girls, that's right. And in this one, the main character is actually fretting because she's met a dude and she's thinking about like leaving her guy who's out in the war, in the Vietnam War, because she's got this guy who's like wants to take care of her and all that and is a business guy. And with that, it like her friend is like ragging on her the entire time, and she's like, "You're just jealous of me," right? And it turns out the guy in the Vietnam War hasn't been writing her back because he got injured in combat, and then she feels terrible about it at the end of the issue, and it leaves it on a cliffhanger for the next issue. So they're actually continuing continuity and building this with these characters at this point. I would love to see these whole runs collected because nobody ever talks about these. They're not in there as any sort of like Marvel history, and you just get these couple of issues in these omnibuses, and that's the only way that you actually see them. And so, and I'd love to get that full run continuity to read this because Stan Lee actually wrote all this stuff again, right? Which is interesting. Now, Rawhide Kid was actually written and drawn by his brother Larry Lieber in this issue, which is another story. So really good omnibus so far. I'm really enjoying it, and that's where we're at. So, all right, there's my aside on this. As I said, I like it when your boy Zach talks about our AI art because he was one of the first to actually embrace it, and I know a lot of people get really angry about that AI art and the like, but it's here, it's happening, it's growing at faster rates, and it is going to be something that's the future that has to be dealt with. I'm actually working with an artist who does traditional art, and he's training AI on his style, and then he's making AI and then editing the AI with his own inking so that it actually flows a little better and removes some of its mistakes and the like. And we're not quite to the point where he can make a comic with that yet, but we're working on it so that it can be done and trying to get the AI to a point where it does enough consistent stuff to where we can do that. Really cool stuff. Like I said, healthier stuff. And I'm glad he deleted all the Eric July stuff because that definitely came from my video being like, this guy's like just ragging on a dude who is creating comics over nothing. And it's like, this is the opposite about what his really channel's supposed to be about. And so I think we got him to delete all those posts just from the pressure from over here. But he comes back, and he starts, of course, going back again and attacking more people again. And here it is. I'm sensing dramatic sachet out about to happen. Attacks geeks and gamers. And this is where it gets really interesting right here. Birthday party clowns are so pissed that Mark isn't just auto-hating everything they discuss. Now, Mark Millar is a wonderful guy, and he goes on all the major channels, and he's actually gone out and put his foot down, and I love this about him, and just not kowtowed to the SJWs who just be like, you're not allowed to talk to Critical Drinker, you're not allowed to talk to JDA, you're not allowed to talk to Clownfish. So he's been on my channel here. He did a written interview for my Fandom Pulse Substack, when Vatican City came out, which is a great book, by the way. Go grab that in comic shops if you haven't. And, of course, he's got his John Romita Jr. Kickstarter going right now, which is really, really cool. I backed it. Psychic Sam. And so he's making the rounds on this as well. And, he's always very relentlessly positive about the mainstream media movies and the like. He's like, Superman, I'm very excited for Superman. I'm super excited for Superman. I'm not, because of it looks like a allegory against Trump in America and the like, which, I'm not excited about it. And these guys aren't excited about it either. And, Mark Millar has a different take on that, which is fine. And we're allowed to have discussions and different takes. But your boy Zach's not even like mad about that, and he's trying to paint a picture here just by screenshotting something and not even showing it, because he doesn't even watch these. We've actually demonstrated that he has not watched videos and then commented on the videos to try to attack Clownfish TV earlier this week. It was really cringy, and doing exactly what he claims these guys are doing, but on their channels instead. So again, like if you watch these discussions. These guys aren't pissed. They don't care. They're having their opinion. Mark has their opinion. They all like each other. They're all talking comic books, and they're promoting his comic book, and he's happy about it. Zach is actually the actual like motivation here is Zach is mad that Mark Millar's going on all these channels, and it just like upsets him that Clownfish TV got in it. Clownfish TV's interview is a really good one, by the way, if you haven't watched it. And he's mad about that because he feels like he should be in this position. But, of course, Zach doesn't reach out to Mark Millar to do an interview. Mark would probably do it. It's just like it's a weird passive-aggressive reaction just trying to target these people because, Mark is actually breaking the mold and changing the culture because somebody in mainstream comics is actually, trying to appeal to the, 50% of the population that's been shut out by current year Marvel Comics, which is nice. And he's allowed to like whatever movies he wants. Policing people's opinions is really gay. And that's what Zach tries to do these days. And so he's doing really well. We've got his Psychic Sam right here. Got 1,000 backers on this already. So this is fantastic, and I'm excited about that. But that's really what's happening here is, again, he's just melting down because somebody is doing an interview with unapproved people. And this is exactly, again, what the SJWs do. They want to make it so that somebody in the comic industry can't do an interview with me because I'm a bad person, and so they control their little whisper networks by doing that, and they control the politics by doing that. Now, if people who disagreed could just talk, and it was a big deal when Eric Larson came on my channel a couple years ago because if you guys didn't see that interview, that's a good one. And Todd McFarlane came on, and Dan DiDio came on. Those guys are Democrats, but they came on and talked with me, and it pissed the SJWs off because they're not allowed to talk with me, right? And a lot of people in the current positions in Marvel Comics and the like, the Gail Simones of the world, and who are at Uncanny X-Men, I'd love to have a discussion with her about comics, but I can't. It can't happen because Gail would get just absolutely savaged and actually maybe destroyed within her Whisper Network. This is what Zach's trying to do right here, trying to say that Mark Millar shouldn't be on with these guys and shouldn't be having discussions about films and comics with these guys because they have differences of opinions. It's really, really sad to watch. And you could see, it's not getting a lot of reaction. And to hide his rage, again, Critical Drinker's making millions off of his stuff. What rage does he have? He's probably pretty happy. The only one raging is your boy Zack here, and that's what's happening. And it's really, really sad. I really thought I was going to make a video the other day. I've been so sick, like I said, so it's been tough about just this movement here. But I knew I should wait and do this until he actually started just reverting back to his ways again, because he did. And, we're going to see he's just going to keep on the spiral because, unfortunately, people just don't like to change and admit they're wrong on the internet, and that's kind of what's happening here, unfortunately. All right. I'd love to see him succeed. And, yes, interesting couple of days in comics. I hope you watched my heavy metal comic review. By the way, I've been doing tests because I got a comment saying, you're talking about your boy Zach and Ethan too much. And I'm like, okay. I did, if you obviously talk about comics in this, and actually comics I like. So Zach should love this channel and hit the like and subscribe button. But if you notice, here we are, look, your boy Zach, 5,000 views, Ethan, 4,000 views, heavy metal review, 1.7K views. So even I would have been better just putting the heavy metal review inside this like I'm doing now. It's way more subversive to do that. And whatever the algorithm wants. I mean, we'll talk about all the things comics here, and it'll be awesome. Thanks for helping us grow. We've been growing like crazy. Appreciate it, you guys being here. Hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure to get on my newsletter for comics, guys. We have awesome stuff coming up. I appreciate you grabbing the Emerald Array and receiving that. You're amazing. Best readers out there. Thank you for being here. Check out the web store if you've not read my books, and we'll be back soon.